Hi babes, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Eman. Today I am doing a I wanted to dig into my collection of Pat McGrath makeup. I realized that I have a lot of it and it's all so beautiful and I haven't really used a ton of it in videos, so I thought this would be the perfect chance to do that. So this look is using all Pat McGrath. It's really fun. It's a very easy look to do and it looks like just a normal smoky eye from far away, but when you get close you realize that there's a lot more going on. So we're gonna get right into this tutorial, but before we do that, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on post notifications, you guys, so you don't miss any videos from me. And all right, without further ado, let's get into this. Tutorial. Before I get into this makeup, you guys, I want to show you some of these palettes. If you've never gotten your hands on a Pat McGrath palette or any of the Pat McGrath Labs product, they're breathtaking. I don't know what else to say. They're just like on such another level of quality. They're so rich and expensive. Let me just open. I have so many here. I don't even know. I'm like, which one do I want to start with? Okay, let's start with one of my favorites. So the crazy thing about these palettes is that the pigment on these shadows is insane. Okay, so this is, I always don't know which shadow. This is like a terrible intro right now because I'm like talking and I'm just like not doing anything. Okay, this is Mothership 5. This is the most recent eyeshadow palette that they came out with. But I just want to give you guys an idea of what I mean by pigment. Like, you don't even need to barely touch. Like, I literally barely touched this shadow. Like, I'm just like scraping the top like so gently, and there's so much pigment. I do not mean to be giving you guys the middle finger. Let's try that again. And that's me barely even touching it. If I was to do like a proper swatch, it's so beautiful. I can't even explain to you guys how incredibly beautiful these shadows are. And it's just like every color is the perfect amount of shimmer or glitter or matte. The textures are so creamy. The matte shadows are so creamy. Like, I've never felt matte shadows that are this creamy. Like, this chocolate brown feels like chocolate. Look at this pigment. And I barely even swatched it. Look how beautiful that is. All these shadows are so beautiful on. I can't even explain to you guys. The color combos are really, really cool. So like the colors that you know exactly what to do, and then they'll throw in like a few shades and you're like, how do I use this? Like, this beautiful satin red is absolutely gorgeous. When I first swatched this, I like, oh, look at that, you guys. So beautiful. And there's always like a really good combination of mattes, shimmers, and then they have these other textures. I don't even know what they're called. I wish I knew. It's like a glitter, but it's not. And they're amazing for layering or even for wearing on their own. Look at this kind of shimmery, silvery gold. Look how that picks up the light. When you put this on, it is so beautiful. Like, it's the perfect gold. Basically what I'm trying to say is these eyeshadow palettes are some of the most beautiful palettes. We are gonna dig into this look. I am using Mothership 3. This is the palette. So I've already gone ahead and done my base for my face. Okay, so I'm gonna go straight into the eyes. I'm starting with a little bit of eyeshadow primer. I've been really loving this one from NARS when I do smoky eyes. This is their tinted smudge proof eyeshadow base. So this is like the regular eyeshadow primer, but it's tinted in this medium dark shade, which works great when I'm doing like darker eyeshadow colors. Oh, this is the medium one. There's one that's actually even darker than this, but this will work fine. I just like that it has a little bit of color, but this one doesn't have that much because I grabbed the wrong one. But you guys now know what the medium dark looks like. For this makeup, we definitely need an eye primer to make sure everything stays put. This is so creamy. I love it. And it blends so beautifully. This is one of my favorite primers for sure. And whenever I'm doing a smoky eye, I always take it along the lower lash line because we are going to be applying shadow there. So we need to apply some primer there as well, because you don't want like flakes of shadow falling, you know, a few hours in. You have like all this like shadow coming underneath and like creating that raccoon look. No. So this will definitely avoid that. I'm going to be starting off with the two safest shades in the palette. And I know you guys are going to be like, oh, those are the easiest ones, but we're going to start off with this. And I've already filmed another look for you guys using 3 other shades from the palette. So today I'm going to be using these beautiful brown, like these dark chocolate browns in the matte, in the shimmer. I'm using a nice flat eyeshadow brush just to pick that shadow up. And because we have that eye primer on, this shadow is going to go on a lot better. So it's gonna have something to stick to. So you're gonna see it's gonna show up a lot more. This brush is one of my favorite brushes ever, and it's actually mint brushes. If you know what mint brushes is, leave it in the comments below. That means you are an OG subscriber. But look at the difference. This brush is so amazing. Unfortunately, you can't get this brush anymore. If you know what mint brushes are, leave it for me in the comments. I really want to see who knows, who remembers. But honestly, this is one of the best eyeshadow brushes ever. It applies eyeshadow better than any other brush, and I'm sad that you guys can't get it. It makes me sad. But maybe one day again you'll be able to get it. Okay, so I am packing this eyeshadow on. You guys can see how beautiful and pigmented it is. I'm packing this all over my lid and going pretty high up. I really want this shadow to kind of just like take over my whole eye, but I don't want you guys to get scared. That might sound scary. Don't be scared. So the idea is just pack as much of the shadow on your lid as you can, just kind of following that shape of your eye, that natural shape of your eye. And I'm bringing it just past my crease. So when I'm looking straight in the mirror, you can see like it's just barely going past my crease. That's as far as I'm gonna take it. But before I start blending, I just want this shadow to be super, super pigmented. So I'm kind of getting this everywhere just to make sure I'm not missing a single spot. And I love the texture of this. Like, it literally looks and feels like butter. I wish you guys could just come and dip your finger in it so you could see what I mean. And I love that there's no fallout. How amazing is that? Like, that is a sign of a really good eyeshadow. A lot of times people think fallout is because you picked up too much product and you put it on your brush. No, fallout is really to do with the quality of the eyeshadow. So that is on. For where I want to place it, that's pretty much as high as I want to go. Now I'm going to take a medium blending brush, something like this. Where is this one from? This is from BH Cosmetics, brush number 6. And I'm just going to blend out the edge of that shadow. So the key for this really is to kind of blend in circular motions. So I'm kind of just going in like little circles, really just focusing on the edge and bringing it up towards my eyebrows. So blending up and out. This is what's gonna give us this beautiful shadow that kind of just blends really seamlessly. And then once you get to the outer corner, same thing, kind of like circular motions and then blending towards the tip of my brows. So I'm blending this pretty high up because I really want this to be like a full beautiful eye. As long as you do this in baby steps and you don't kind of go crazy, you'll be fine. So just apply the product on your lid first and then just really gently blend out that edge and blend it up and out towards your eyebrows. I love that. I think that looks beautiful. If you want, you can go back and add a little bit more of that brown shadow just to build it up a little bit more. So I'm just going to do that right now because I do want this look to be really pigmented. So I'm just going back and applying a lot of that shadow back on my lid. so the lid can look darker than the crease. And it's kind of cool because I'm not even going to use a crease color. I'm just using this one shade, but it looks different because this is so blended and this is so packed on. So I'm just packing that on my lid and then bringing it back up to my crease, pretty much exactly like what we just did. And then blending out the edges one more time, just to get a lot of depth in the shadow. I think you guys are gonna love how easy this eyeshadow look is, even though like it's like a really intense smoky eye. I think you're gonna love that it's literally 2 shadows, maybe a third, we'll see. Oh no, there will be, I don't know, okay. Don't quote me yet, we'll see. But the point is, I'm keeping it pretty simple, not complicating it, keeping it simple for you guys. Okay, love that. Let's move on to the bottom. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, then you would know that last month I got to meet Pat McGrath herself. So basically, if you're not following me on Instagram, you definitely should. Guys, it was one of the most surreal experiences I've ever had. As a makeup artist, Pat McGrath is godfather of all makeup artistry. She's at the top. So for those of you who don't know much about Pat McGrath or the makeup brand or who she is, she's an actual real life person. She's a makeup artist that has been in the industry for 25, 30 years. She is the OG. She's worked on every single fashion show. She's worked with so many makeup brands. She's created so many iconic looks. She's worked with every supermodel, and she's just been in the game forever and has been at the top forever and ever and ever. So as a makeup artist, she is someone I looked up to so much. When I first started makeup artistry, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go into fashion, the fashion side of things and do editorial, or go into the celebrity side. Later on, I decided that I wanted to do more celebrity because I love like red carpet glam. That was my thing, but I still like had a special place in my heart for fashion and editorial as well. But I just knew that I wasn't going to take that route. I was going to move to LA and do celebrities. But still, like, I would look at magazines and shows and see Pat's work and just be like in awe and get inspiration from it too. So the fact that I got to meet her this year, so I had the opportunity to go to Italy, to go to Milan. Buongiorno from Milano. I'm here with Silvia, and we're going to go to the Versace. Okay, that's so annoying. So we are on our way into the city shopping, and then we're gonna go to the Versace show tonight with Pat McGrath. I'm so excited. With the Pat McGrath team, with Pat herself. I am here with the one and only Pat McGrath.
So happy to be here with you. It is really hot. It's sweltering.
It's so hot.
But it's fantastic.
The makeup looks amazing. The girls look amazing. The show's about to start. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. I don't know what to do with myself.
And go to the Versace show where Pat and her whole team, who has been with her for years and years and years, did all of the makeup for the Versace show during Milan Fashion Week. This was in September. And guys, it was so crazy. It was literally the craziest experience I've ever been a part of. Every single supermodel was there. Bella Hadid, Gigi Hadid, Kendall Jenner. So many celebrities were there. Nicki Minaj, Anna Wintour. We were right in the heart of it. We were backstage with all the models and all the celebrities that came in through the VIP section. That's where we were. So we got to see everyone. At one point, Nicki Minaj came in. She came in through the back entrance. I guess she didn't want the paparazzi or whatever on the outside. She was dressed head to toe in Versace, and she came in and everyone like pulled out their phone and everyone's like taking pictures of her and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, Pat decided that she wanted myself and a couple of the other influencer girls that were there to go and meet Nicki Minaj. I was not mentally prepared to meet Nicki Minaj in that moment, you guys. I got so nervous. Anyways, she's like, girls, come meet Nicki. And I was just like, I don't want to meet Nicki. Of course I wanted to meet her, but I was like, this is like being up for 12 hours and my makeup looks like crap and I was just so exhausted. I was like, oh my god, this is happening. Okay, pull yourself together. So anyways, we met Nicki Minaj. She had no idea who we were. But it was just the craziest experience. And I met Donatella Versace and like some of my favorite models were there and I got to speak to them, which was so cool. And just seeing all of the makeup artists backstage doing all the makeup, just like the whole thing, you guys, like the whole experience was amazing. And it just made me love the makeup so much more. It made me love Pat so much more. She's just such an inspiring person. And for being in the industry for so long and then taking the time to spend time with someone like me, I was just so overwhelmed. And it just felt like such a full circle moment because she's someone I've looked up to forever. So to be in the same room with her and to spend so much time with her and to be able to just speak with her and pick her brain, the whole thing was incredible. All right, let's move on to the lower lash line. I'm still using that same brown shadow, but now I'm going in with a smaller brush because we're working with a much smaller space. Just bringing this all the way across. And the trick with this, you guys, is don't be afraid to make this part a little bit thicker. I think this is the thing that sometimes people don't really do. We are adding one other color after this, so we want to make sure that we could see both colors, this brown and then the black as well. This is such a classic look, you guys. You can't go wrong with this look. I'm telling you, you can't. And when you're using amazing product, it's gonna look even better. So I'm just kind of going back and forth, adding a bit more of that brown shadow just to get it to the same depth as the top lid. And that's it. I actually switched brushes. This is from NARS. It's the little pencil brush from NARS. And I feel like this one is just a little bit softer than the other one I was trying to use. All right, so we are gonna do black liner in the waterline. But first, I'm gonna take a bit of the black shadow from the palette just to kind of frame our eyes so we know where to place everything. I'm gonna do a little bit on the top and the bottom. So you want to get this pretty close to your lash line. And I'm using this little smudgy brush. This is from Sigma. It is the Short Shader E20. Short Shader. I like this brush because I can kind of just push the eyeshadow just at the base of my lashes and just bring the eyeshadow up. So it makes it just super easy to use. So I'm just creating a little bit of a smudge at my lash line before we apply the liner, just to kind of give it that smoky effect. The black with the brown is gonna look so beautiful. So just doing a little bit of this eyeshadow first. This is the first time I've ever used this brush from Sigma. I'm so impressed. I love the way that it looks. It just applies so well. Like, it applied the shadow perfectly, exactly where I wanted it, and it smudged it just enough. So this is a great brush, E20. Okay, so we are moving to the lower lash line. Same idea. I'm gonna get that black shadow right at the base of my lashes. It's okay if this goes on your waterline because we're doing black liner anyways, but you wanna keep it as close to your lashes as possible. I don't want the black to go down too far. This part is a little bit tricky, so I feel like I can't talk because I need to concentrate. You know what I've been thinking about recently, guys? I would love to do a masterclass because I feel like there's so many beauty girls on YouTube, but there's not like a lot of beauty girls that like have a background as a professional makeup artist. So I think it would be kind of cool. Oh, I just got eyeshadow all over me. I think it would be kind of cool to do a masterclass and like have you guys come. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. So you do want to try and keep that black eyeshadow as close to your lash line as possible. So you might need to go for a slightly smaller brush, like even like an angle brush. That will probably work really well. Okay, let's move on to liner. And for this part, you want a really black liner. I am using the Pat McGrath Labs Permagel Ultra Glide Eye Pencil. And I'm packing this in my waterline. I love that this liner can get really, really black, which is what we want. And I'm taking this all the way in. So I'm really rimming my entire eye with this pencil. I want the black all around, like a super tight line of black all around my eye. Okay, once you have that, I'm also going in the inner corner and just smudging it into my top lashes. Because again, I just want the whole eye to have this beautiful black liner. So that is the first step. Second step, I'm gonna go in with the Pat McGrath Labs Perma Precision Liquid Eyeliner. I love the tip on this felt pen. It's gonna give us the most precise line. So I'm gonna use this for the inner corner, just to get that really beautiful feline shape. Oh, this liner is like butter, you guys. It literally just glides right on, and it's so black. I love it. I think I want to go a little bit on the bottom as well. Okay, and now taking it to the top, and I'm keeping this right at the base of my lashes. That's it. And then when I get to the outer corner, I'm just kind of flicking up the pen, just holding it horizontally like this, and just like really gently kind of just like flicking it out. That's it. That's all we're gonna do. Super simple. We're not trying to create like this crazy cat eye. That's not the vibe. I'm just gonna leave it like that and then go back and add a little bit more of that black shadow just to go over that liner. This liner, by the way, you guys, this felt liner, one of the best felt liners I've ever used. Just so you know. Okay, so I'm going back with my little smudger brush with the eyeshadow palette, dipping it into the black shadow and just using this to kind of smudge out or give like a little bit more of a smudgy vibe on the liner, so the liner isn't just like this harsh black line. So I'm just taking that black shadow, kind of smudging it into the liner, and what I'm doing is I'm kind of like pushing the brush upwards, so I'm pressing the product in and then kind of flicking it upwards. So it kind of smudges up and out a little bit. And then once you get to the outer corner, I'm just adding a little bit more shadow just over that little tiny fake wing that we made. Just that little tiny little line. Okay, I think we're smudgy, guys. All right, next I am taking a flat eyeshadow brush and I'm going in with the beautiful chocolate bronze shade that is in the shimmer texture. So this is the matte brown we used. Now we're going in that similar shade, but now it's a shimmer, and I am spraying my brush. So I sprayed it with a little bit of Fix Plus and dipping my brush into that shadow and then applying it just kind of in the center of my lid. It's very, very subtle, you guys. It's not gonna look like bronzy, but it's just gonna give a little bit of really pretty dimension to your eyes. I love layering these two on top of each other, but again, I also love how subtle it is. So the lashes that I'm using today are these ones from Eylure, the Nikki Philippi lashes. That's what they look like. One of my best tips for you guys when you're applying false lashes is to really wait until the glue is very tacky. So then that way, by the time you put the lashes on, they're gonna just stick on. They're not gonna like slide around and like have a hard time sticking. They're gonna just stick immediately because the glue is like already ready to go. So that is one of the best tips for applying falsies. All right, it is time to really spice up this look, you guys. I'm going in with this beautiful shimmery gold shade from the Mothership palette. I'm using this to highlight my brow bone. This is such a beautiful color, and it's the perfect amount of shimmer, and I love that it has this like really gold undertone to it, because a lot of times the shimmery shadows can have like more of a white undertone, but this is very golden and I love that. Add a little bit of shimmer just to like add some light to the inner corner of our eye. Love that. So pretty. Now, how dramatic you want to be with this look is totally up to you, but this is what I love this palette so much. So I'm just gonna kind of dip my finger in these beautiful different shades, and just gently apply it on my lid. But you guys are gonna see like this isn't gonna be like dramatic color. It's just gonna give your eyes a little something without it being super obvious. I don't know, there's just something about these shadows that just work so well together. And I think it's because they're all really subtle. Like nothing is too over the top. You can definitely get over the top. Like this gold is amazing and it's so pigmented. So I'm saving that for a different look. I'm gonna take a little bit of this beautiful gray as well. And I'm actually gonna use this for the lower lash line, just to add a little bit of color there. So adding a little bit of that purple and adding a little bit of that gray underneath just gives this look a whole different effect. And you can do this with any of, I'm taking this beautiful shimmery iridescent pink shade that has like flecks of gold in it. It's just so gorgeous, you guys. And I'm using that just a tiny bit in my inner corner. Just like such a small amount, just like that. So it's like there, but it's not, it's super subtle. You can even take the blue and the gold and just like place them in different parts around your lash line, and it just looks so beautiful. So for the cheeks, I am using this blush from Too Faced, their strawberry blush duo. This is part of the Tutti Frutti collection. I love that it has the two different tones. And I think this shade is gonna go beautiful with this eye makeup. And this blush has just a bit of shimmer to it, so it's really beautiful on the skin. You guys are gonna love this lip combo. So the first item that I'm using is the Pat McGrath Labs Perma Gel Ultra Lip Pencil in the color Buff. This is a perfect nude lip liner. So I'm just gonna line my entire lip to give my lip a really nice defined shape. And I'm gonna just very slightly fill in around the edges. These lip liners are so creamy. They glide right on, you guys. They just go on so smooth. There's no tugging or pulling at all. It's so creamy. It's the perfect texture for a lip liner. Over that, I am using the Pat McGrath Labs lipstick in the color Valletta number 406. And then on top of that, I'm adding the Pat McGrath Labs Gold Allure Lip Gloss. The way this gloss has the gold flecks in it and it picks up the light is absolutely stunning. It's so gorgeous. Oh my God. They're so pretty. The last step of this look, you guys, is honestly gonna pull the whole look together. I'm not just saying that. And it is adding this amazing highlighter from Pat McGrath. This is the Skin Fetish Highlighter and Balm Duo in the color Golden. So this is a double-ended highlighter and it has this beautiful balm on one end, which is like the most gorgeous texture. You can put this on your skin on days when you have like no makeup, if you want just like a really beautiful dew to your skin. And the other side is the highlighter shade. So you could just take the highlighter and apply it over the balm to get that really beautiful dewy effect, or the highlighter on its own. They're both gorgeous. I'm just gonna apply it with my finger. So a little bit of that balm in all the key areas, and then going over that with this gorgeous highlighter. I love how natural this looks. Like it doesn't even look like I'm applying highlighter. Like it looks like it's just natural glow to my skin. It's so subtle and beautiful. This highlighter is so gorgeous. Oh, okay. All right, guys, this is the whole look put together. So the thing that I really want you to take away from this video is whether you are using the Pat McGrath palette or not, whatever you're using, the idea is you can take like a very simple basic smoky eye and spice it up by adding these fun, bright, shimmery shadows and just like little bits and pieces here and there in the eye makeup, the lash line, a little bit on the lid. It can totally just make your eye look so much more interesting and just so much more fun. So try it out. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new, and if you are not following me on Instagram, go do it right now, guys, because not only do I have a ton of giveaways on there, I also post a lot of things that you just don't get to see here on YouTube, like my trip to Milan when I met Pat, and it's still there as a highlight story, so if you go, you could still see it. That is it. I really hope you guys are doing amazing. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in another video very soon. Love you. Bye.